Hello!
Hi. I feel like anyone who sees the title of this is going to be like, what is
What?
going on? What is happening? And I can explain the reference in the title, but I also don't want to name drop too much because the company that this is related to has a tendency to sue the hell out of people that use anything affiliated with them. Um, but I think as long as I don't know what that line is.
I do, but we should probably introduce ourselves first.
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Krista Barone with Wicked Wisdom Consulting. I help business owners get back to doing what they love and living their purpose while taking care of all the operational operations of their business.
I am Michelle Barone of Moksha Grace Coaching, and I help people reintegrate their emotions and who they are so that they can find emotional freedom by controlling their responses to the world outside.
I love how every week you change it up.
Well, it might hit somebody different.
No, I mean I'm being serious. I'm not being sarcastic. I think that's great because exactly that. When you say it differently every week,
Yeah.
it hits everyone different. I
Oh,
love it.
I'm sorry. Let me take a drink of water.
So the reference in the title, you may have heard us mention before that we try to incorporate movie lines and references in the titles of the episodes. And No Capes is a reference and shout out to my girl Edna Mode from The
Remember
Incredibles.
who you are.
Pull yourself together. Pull yourself together.
Remember who you are. She does say that. I'll pull up the clip right now.
I'll pull it up right now. Don't even get me started. But no. So today we are talking about superpowers and which superpowers we would want to have because go ahead, tell the story. How did we get here?
So, how we got here was a couple Friday nights ago. Um, we were having happy hour, and my godchildren were there, Royce and Rias, and we they started a conversation. They asked a question. They posed a question of, if you could have any superpower, what superpower would you want to have? No one had ever really asked me that before. And
Wait, was that them at saying no one's
yeah,
asked them
the
that before?
kids, they were asking, they were like having this conversation, and they asked me what superpower I would want to have. And so I've always thought about, like, if I could be, and we've talked about this, and I actually talk about this with my clients too, like, what superhero, or what character in a movie would you
Stop.
be?
That's next week's episode. Shush. Get
Oh,
back
shit.
to your story.
Okay.
Gosh.
So anyway, we were talking, and so we got into this like heated conversation that went on for like 40-45 minutes
Oh yeah.
about
Well,
the
and the thing to
superpower.
know about my god brothers, your god kids, is a they know they're superheroes.
Oh yeah.
They know their superpowers.
Oh yeah.
And they can talk about Marvel and DC, probably more Marvel, I think, than DC, but maybe both. But they know the lore, they know the movies, they know their stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And even Rias is getting into D&D, and I have friends that are into D&D,
That's a
so
whole other topic for a different day.
still superpowers. Hey, don't
I
don't.
guess so. Sure. So
Uh,
I want to preface this by saying I'm not a superhero girly. And I really just don't. It's not
which
my vibe.
I
I'm not a
don't get.
superhero movie person. The only superhero I vibe with is Deadpool and the Mutants. I am an X-Men fan, but otherwise Marvel, DC, I ain't got time to worry about that. I do like Guardians of the Galaxy too, but as far as like the more classic superheroes, it's not my vibe.
Who
But
raised
I'm
you?
happy for everyone that it is their vibe.
We used to watch Powerpuff Girls together.
That's not classic Marvel and DC, but okay.
Well, I'm sorry, but we just said no capes because, Edna believes in no capes because you can get hurt.
You're right. I'm an Incredibles fan. That is a Disney masterpiece.
Right. And we didn't say it had to be just Marvel or DC
No,
powers.
I just wanted to put out there
Powers are
that
powers.
in this conversation,
Okay.
I don't know the lore. I don't know, the ins and outs of the superheroes, so I may not talk within their universe. That's all.
Well, and I honestly, I'm sure that we could both get spoken to after this because I'm sure that there's going to be something that I'll say that
Okay,
I don't
Wonder
know a
Woman
lot.
shirt and Captain Marvel cup, who dressed for the occasion today. I don't know superheroes either. Okay.
I mean, I don't know all of it.
Well, let's dive into it. If you had to pick now, okay, we did briefly talk about this earlier, and ultimately, we both are in agreement that the best superpower to have would be to be, what is it, omnipotent.
I don't know. You looked it up.
Basically, to have, like, you could have any superpower at any time. You're the all-knowing, all-seeing overlord of the universe. You can decide at any point what superpower you have, but we also talked about how that's a little bit like saying if a genie granted you 3 wishes and you wish for unlimited wishes, it kind of takes the fun out of it.
Right. Right.
So aside from being able to grant yourself any superpower you want at any moment, what would be your number 2 choice? And let us know that you're here, by the way, and join the conversation. What superpower
absolutely.
would you want to have if you could have any of them? And try not to pick being able to have any superpower at any time, because again, it takes the fun out of it.
Right. So yeah. So I really like the concept of working with the elements in energy. To me, that's a superpower that you can draw different things from in depending on what you need.
Okay.
Right? So if I can work with the elements and the energy of the elements, I could create uh like a vibration coming from the earth and shake things up. I could uh help things flow more calmly or create a wave that might disrupt a situation.
So you would want to have control of the elements?
I don't want to I don't like the word control. I would want to work with them. I don't want to control anything. Like, I don't want to be that responsible.
Let's not have a battle of semantics today, all right?
Like
We're already having a battle of superpowers.
That's like saying and that was one of the god kids said, I want to be I want to be the creator. And I was like, oh,
Heck no,
that to
I don't
me,
want that
I was
power.
like, oh my God. I just like, I don't want to do that. That's way too much. Way too much
Like when
responsibility.
kids say they want to be president, and I'm like, ugh.
Oh,
Sure
gosh.
about that?
I want to have fun. Like, I want to be able to like bring the sun out if I want the sun, or
Oh, so you're talking like Bruce Almighty, where he put the lasso around the moon and pulls it in.
No, but see, but look what happened when he did that, right? So that's not good.
Real quick, you're going in and out from your mic, and so you get really loud at moments. Try to stay equal distance if you don't mind, because my audio is very loud. And so there's times where you come in really loud. Thanks.
I would like the superpower to be calm in all situations. I'm kidding.
No, because then, I mean, there's times where you need to fly off the handle, you know?
Well, yeah. In a good way, as long as you don't hurt anybody. But go ahead. What's your what superpower would you pick? And
Well, did you say, what did you just say?
I was going to say, and why? But
what superpower would you pick? I think You know, I gotta say, I did search earlier. What's
Mm-hmm.
the best superpower? Because I wanted to hear other people's ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, I'm not really a superhero movie girly. Um, and someone did make a great point about telekinesis, which
Mm-hmm.
is that really does give you tremendous power because everything is matter. And with a telekinesis power, you would have the ability to bend and manipulate matter in any way that you want. So you could create air, you could create. The only thing someone did say is you wouldn't be able to create light, which I mean, I don't really see that being a problem, but like if you wanted more money, you could pull atoms and matter together to create money. If you needed more air, you could do that. If you wanted to blow something up, you could pull all the matter apart. So I think that's interesting, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of Magneto in X-Men, which is super cool. But it would apply to everything, not just metal. So I think that's really kind of a cool concept.
Well, and you wouldn't really need to create money because if you could manipulate,
Well,
you could
true,
just create whatever you wanted. So you
true,
wouldn't need money,
true.
you know?
Mm-hmm. You part the seas. You could clear the clouds out of the sky. You could basically, essentially, teleport yourself because I mean, if you can move things, then you could probably do something with like teleportation type of deal, or at least just like super fast travel and movement.
You would be able to, yeah, you
Kind of
could,
like having the force. If I want, my cup to just slide across the room, I can just stick my hand out and pull it to me.
right, right. I mean,
And it also includes the powers that you were talking about when you think about it.
well, that's what I was going to say. Is it kind of sounds like you're talking about what I was talking about, which is working with the elements.
Except it goes beyond the elements.
Right.
It goes deeper than the elements.
Well, when you put the elements together, the elements create energy and then they create force. And then, so,
Yeah.
but
There's
yeah, I get
probably,
it.
I mean, there might even be a healing element with that if you can move your cells where you kind of like
Right.
need them to be to heal things. So that's another interesting element to it.
Well, it's interesting because as I was looking, and of course I had to, look up what Wonder Woman. Um, so I was looking at Wonder Woman's, and I think how they summed it up, which was hysterical. Wonder Woman is also the goddess of wisdom and defensive war. She's a powerful leader and warrior and a founder of the Justice League. Yeah. Uh but looking at all of her different powers, I would want to be able to use the powers to help other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of what she was saying was kind of for her, like she could astral project and she could do this and she could do that, where it's like I would want to be like, maybe that's the power. I would want to be almost the genie giving the wishes, like being able to
That's the
bring,
cool concept.
right? Like
Yeah.
I think that's what I would like to do is have work
Well,
with
I
the
think
elements and
inherently,
energy to be able to do that.
when I think inherently, I would assume that by being one that can grant other people wishes, that you can grant wishes in and of yourself, which means you could grant yourself your own wishes. But
Yeah.
as we know, through the law of attraction and all of that, that you do have to be very careful with wishes.
You have to be careful what you wish for.
Which
And
is why
words matter.
I think I definitely would be more inclined to have a superpower like I'm talking about, telekinesis on that level, because it requires me to actually like I have to do the thing in order to get what I want. I can't just think of something and it happens,
Mm-hmm.
because there's way too many intrusive thoughts and just like where the human mind goes, that like that's a lot of power to just like there were people on the threads I was looking at, like I just want to, when I think of something it's there, and it's like that's terrifying. That's a horrible superpower.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's scary
Mm-hmm.
because, like, yeah, you're right. Because we think of crazy things sometimes, and sometimes we don't mean it. We just might be in the moment, and
Mm-hmm.
so we think of something, and that doesn't mean that we would want someone. We wouldn't want that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I mean, think of you're watching a movie and all of a sudden the movie is in your living room. No.
I would. Oh, come on! I would love to be in the middle of like Lord of the Rings, like right there, right at that fight scene, and Aragon. He's going up and down, and he's having that like powerful moment, and
But
that
you realize
speech.
that with that power, you would also be in the fight scene, and you'd be so focused on what they're doing that you now have been speared.
And
Or
I
like
would feel,
twisters, and all of a sudden your house is being blown away.
I would be so just amazed that I was there and listening to Aragon and just wrapped up in the moment that I just get trampled.
It sounds like you may want to teleport to different realms or like
And then
go
pop
into
back out.
stories. What was that? Those books when I was a kid, Magic Treehouse type of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
where you read a
pop
book and
in,
you go
pop.
into the world.
Yeah. You know, I
Now,
mean,
I think one thing we did agree on was that the ability to control time.
yeah,
That's
no.
I no interest in that at all
Well,
whatsoever.
it's like we were talking about. It's way too confusing because then if someone sees you, if you go back in time and then someone sees you and then it alters like all the stuff and then other things happen, it's way too complicated and you have to think too much about it. Like I just want to do
Yeah,
good. I just want
right.
to do good. And if I was granting wishes, it would have to be like I would almost want to be able to see into the future that it was actually a good thing for the person.
I don't think you get that power.
But then that would be judgy. And I don't want to be judgy. Like what I think is good for a person may not be what they think is good for
I
a
think your
person.
first answer was the winner.
Well, but then I'm going to go back to last week and what I said at the very end of the show, which is I grew up watching Bewitched. I mean, forget the whole Marvel DC thing. Bewitched was Bewitched was amazing.
Yeah.
Like the house is dirty, people are coming over. Oh shit, your house is clean. Like, and your buffet. Forget the charcuterie board or whatever the hell it was.
Charcuterie?
You would just go like this, and it would just be there. It would just be there, and then at the end, you just. I can't wiggle my nose like
So I
she.
wonder how that power works. You think it's that she has to simultaneously think of something and wiggle her nose at the same time, or is the wiggle just like a an indication that the wish is like how? I wonder
I,
how that works.
I mean, being the observer of the show for many years, I'm going to say that she had to have the intention. It wasn't like she could just, her nose didn't have control. It was the intention and the action. That's what made it happen.
So it was a combination of the two.
Right.
So that would be an interesting way to do like the things that I want happen when I want them. As long as you have control over that. Because I think if it just happens, then that's
Right.
sketchy, as we just talked about.
Interesting. I wonder if that's what the background power of Bewitched was telekinesis. Because she did manipulate atoms and are right that's what you were talking about
Well, it's
or
basically
that
like
was the other one.
no, that
Now I'm confused.
I've never seen Bewitched that I can recall, so I don't. Was it that like if she wanted the house clean, she would just wiggle her nose and it would instantly be clean?
mm,
Or did you see like the vacuum running
you
and
saw
stuff?
the vacuum running and
So
you
then that
saw
probably was more a little bit telekinesis, except
yeah
for the added she had to wiggle her nose for it, which
right.
seems just like it seems like an added roadblock. But okay, I'm sure it was for the show, obviously.
She didn't have to make the funny faces, her nose just wiggled.
I
I,
can't do it.
I actually like I don't know if it was a documentary or I read a story about like they had to have people come and audition, and they had to wiggle their nose. Like if you
When
can't wiggle your nose, it wasn't like
right,
back in the
yeah.
day. Yeah, it went back and forth.
I can't do it. All I can do is flare my nostrils.
And she would do it, and her whole it like her mouth would kind of move a little bit, but not like a lot. It was just like it was very because people. It wasn't like people really saw her doing it. I mean, I think her husband Darren, he could kind of tell when she was doing it.
And how did she get these powers?
She was bewitched. She was. I don't. I
Oh, she
was
didn't
she
have
a
an origin
witch?
story?
Was
Okay.
she? You know, that's a great point. There's never been an origin. Now she did have a mother. Oh, her mother used to show up. Oh, forget it. And she could pop in and pop out. Her aunt could pop in and pop out. Her
So we have
uncle.
an ancestry line of
Oh,
powers. Okay. She's
yeah.
probably born with it. Very much like the Incredibles.
Very true. Very true. And I mean, I love the Incredibles. I don't know about the whole stretchy thing, you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that power. That's also in the Fantastic Four. I'm okay not doing that. I think I'm good.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll stick with the telekinesis over that.
yeah. Well, and one of Wonder Woman's weapon, she's got that lasso of truth, and I was looking at that one, and I was like, I don't know that I want to know everybody's truth. Like,
Oh no,
there's
that would be awesome.
to know everybody's
Not as my
truth.
only superpower, but yeah. You know how easy it would be if everyone just spoke what they meant?
Well, that would be wonderful. So, those of you watching, because we see you, don't be shy. Or I'll get my lasso of truth. Just kidding. What about like being able to see through walls and like see everything?
The government has that in binoculars and stuff already. That's we can buy that, I'm sure, at some point in the future.
That's
Also,
very true.
Cyclops from X-Men, what a horrible superpower that is, to just shoot lasers out of your eyes. You
Well,
got the short end of the stick on that one. I'm sorry.
I mean, shooting lasers out of your eyes. I mean, if you need to like make something happen.
In a plausible, everyday scenario, when are you gonna need that?
Well, okay, so when you're thinking about what superpower you would want,
You know what? I see where you're going. It's very dependent on the world that you live in. Are we talking
exactly.
about like our reality? Are we talking about
Right.
Guardians of the Galaxy
Did
reality?
you just read
Star
my
Wars
mind?
reality?
Did you just read my mind? Because that's where I was going. Are
Yeah,
we
I know.
are we
That
being
includes,
offensive?
that's my real life superpower.
It is actually.
I've been told that many times. I read people's mind. I don't mean it, but it is what it is.
I can read in between what people are saying and kind of gather the information. Like I can tap in that way. I can be talking to somebody and write down words, and then all of a sudden they say them and I'm like, oh, we're
Real
in
life
tune.
superpowers.
We're in tune. Tia watched Bewitched. Yes, you did. Now, see, we can go back and go, who would you rather be? Bewitched or I Dream of Jeannie? I'm going to say Bewitched because I Dream of Jeannie, she got sent to her bottle way too much, by the way. And he would like cap her off and make her stay in her bottle, which used to tick me off. That's like being sent to your room as an adult.
That sounds like being held captive. So I'll
Yes.
pass on that. Why?
Why? Like that.
Yeah,
So,
I'll pass. My only picture. Oh, that's a cool perspective, Tia. I love that.
yeah. And she was good. She was amazing. And
Why don't we?
Yes.
Go ahead.
No, what?
I was gonna say, you want to run through some of the superhero movies? I'll do my best to pick, and like we'll pick of the main characters which superpower we will have from it. Okay. What do you want to start with?
Well, what you know best. One of the ones you know best. Let's talk X-Men first.
Oh, Jean Grey all day. Not even a contest.
Yeah.
Not even a contest. What about you?
Storm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Storm. I totally would want to be Storm
I
because
can
I'd be working with the elements. So that's
yeah,
like the closest I could get to the superpowers that I want. Storm.
totally see that. Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, we've already had this conversation, and the family deemed me
No,
Mantis.
no, 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 no. This is about what power would you want to have?
Well, let's talk about Mantis for a moment.
Sure.
What was Mantis's superpowers? What were her powers?
From my understanding, she touched people and could change their minds or influence their mind.
Well,
Why don't you just tell me? Because I don't. Go ahead.
I don't know. No, I don't. I don't know. I know that
If she would remember, like she touched the police officer and was like, "You're not going to arrest us."
Yes,
We're not going to arrest
exactly.
them.
She manipulated their thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
What was Gamora's power?
I don't even know. This was a bad choice to pick Guardians of the Galaxy. Do any of them have powers, or are they just different creatures? Because
I'm
like,
just gonna pick Groot.
I'll pick what's his name with the arrow thing, just because that's the only one I can think of that actually has.
Where he
Well,
whistles?
I mean, I can't
Mhm.
think of his name right now, which is crazy. He was cool. I mean, to be fair, he also had the dad in the second one, who basically was an omnipresent entity, but he was evil.
And then
so.
ended up going and killing like
All
everybody.
right, no, we're not going to talk about movie endings.
Okay.
Pick another movie. I'll do my best.
How
How about the classic, The Incredibles? Of the well, so let's run. There's
okay, Mom.
there's the five, the family of five.
Right.
Let's not forget. Oh my God, where's my super suit?
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
I cannot remember his name. Oh my God, I love him though. Him and his wife in that movie are perfection. So let's say from those six, I can't think of anyone else. Who would you, just based on superpower, not their character, superpower?
I don't know. The sisters is the one that's like speedy.
No, no. The youngest. Okay, so the dad is super strength. The mom is stretch.
Right.
The daughter can disappear and also do force fields. The son is the one that runs.
That one.
I would pick the baby. The baby runs through a bunch of different powers. And then turns into that little gremlin thing. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Although we really don't get to see the extent of his powers, but it looks like, you know what it is? I think he shapeshifts, maybe is what it is. I think we see that in the second movie.
Sorry. Our dog has a superpower of eating stuffed animals, and I just wanted to make sure that Max was not, flexing that one. Yes, Tia, I think that, a real green thumb, that would be super cool.
Would be cool.
Yeah. Flying, because you could travel anywhere. That makes absolute sense.
Oh, from one of your favorite movies. What about from Suicide Squad?
Oh, okay. So I have it written down. I wrote it yesterday because
you wrote something down.
I did, because I couldn't think of the name, and then I was like, that's what it is. But I have to preface this with not because of exactly what he does. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. One, I would always want to be Harley Quinn because she's a badass and I love her. And I actually could have dressed like her today, but I chose not to. Harley Quinn is just amazing. But she also is a little distorted by
mentally deranged. Yeah.
No, I mean, not mentally deranged, but she's
but here's the thing.
She's under the thumb of the Joker.
What is her superpower, though? I guess
just be a really cool freaking badass.
All right, because remember, we're talking about the superpower, not the
Right. So
character.
her superpower, I guess, is to be a badass, and she can freak it. She's got strength because she. I
Yeah, you're right.
mean,
Her arms are like toothpicks, so she's got to have some
right.
like inhuman strength.
I mean, and then she's acrobatic. I mean,
Hmm.
look at the
Yeah,
things that she did, right?
yeah.
So yeah, like Harley Quinn, like and then she could be compassionate, she's truthful, as far as like getting people to talk, she's
Hmm.
compassionate. So
Is this the
definitely
answer you had written down?
no.
Okay,
Okay, so ready?
not really, but go ahead.
Kill shot.
You know what? That's not fair because that's who I was gonna say.
Really? Why were you gonna say it?
Well,
And then
but
I'll tell you why I was gonna say it.
hold on. Let me make sure I'm talking about the right. I can't
Will
imagine that's
Smith.
not who I think. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, kill
Is it
shot.
Killshot? Are you sure?
Pretty sure it's kill shot. It came to me like in the middle of something
Well, go
yesterday.
ahead and say your reasoning because I was. It's dead shot, not kill shot. I knew it was dead shot.
Okay, dead shot. Dead shot. Because he always hits his target. So that would mean, if you take the gun out of it, that I would always hit my target. So goals, aspirations, accomplishments, you always hit your target. So I just took the violence out of it and just said he's always dead shot on what he wants and gets.
Interesting. Harley Quinn has a genius level IQ.
Yes,
Highly
that I
trained
do.
gymnast. Dexterity. Interesting. I'm just looking up the different powers.
Because remember, she was like a psychiatrist, or
Yeah.
like she was doing therapy with him. And then he flipped that around on her and then threw her in a vat. Which, oh, can I just, I'm going to share this.
Yeah, go ahead because I'm still looking this up to have a good answer.
So this was my rendition of Harley Quinn falling in the vat, and then her and the Joker falling in love.
Wait,
And
what are
so,
you doing? Oh, I was like, wait, what are we doing?
no, so it's like a painting that I did, and then I put my husband and I in the middle of it. See, isn't that sweet?
That's very sweet.
Listen, it's going to be 30 years together on the 30th of this month. Anywho,
I'm still looking. Hold on. I just need to look up one more person.
Tia says 140 IQ, you'd never know it. But that's her, Harley Quinn.
I guess.
Without the violence.
I mean, the violence is half the fun in the Suicide Squad world. So
Well,
I mean, I was thinking Deadshot just because he's killer with his weapons, and that's awesome skill to have. I mean, the alternative to that, my second choice would be Katana because it's the same sort of thing, and she's a master swordswoman. So
Right.
that would be super cool.
And she keeps her dead husband in her sword, so.
That sounds really weird. So okay, what's an what other superhero movies are there?
Deadpool.
That's X-Men, pretty much.
Okay,
The only
well,
one with a superpower really there.
did you answer what was your X-Men? Oh, you said Jean, right, Jean.
Duh.
Okay,
One of the best
so
there is.
okay, so if you had to pick a second one, who would you want?
That's tough. Who would your second choice be?
I was having like a Twilight moment. Like, are you Team Wolverine or Team Deadpool? Just like, um,
It's really hard not to see the character with the power.
I mean, I think I would want to be Professor X. I mean, and not necessarily for his power to be able to read everyone's minds and like do all that, but know what everyone's powers are and help them become the genius that they're meant to be with that power.
I'm sensing a take care of people vibe with all of your powers.
We'll like bring everyone together and like be the leader to help show them how to, you know.
Yeah. I think my second choice. Well, see, now I'm thinking of a character though. 'Cause I was gonna say Quicksilver, but I think that's just because his character is so cool. But it would be cool to have that power to not change things, but to slow down time. Like in the movie, he slowed down time to
Mhm.
save the kids from the building that was about to blow up, or it was
Right.
actively blowing up, but he could slow it down enough to get them out. Or the kitchen scene where he slowed everything down enough where he could save his friends. So yeah, I'm probably gonna go Quicksilver's powers.
Okay.
Hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So, um,
Oh,
oh,
great.
damn,
Yeah.
Tia just
Comment
did
of
that.
all comments. Neo
That
from
was
the
like
Matrix.
yeah, that's mic drop.
Yeah.
That's mic drop right
Yeah.
there. Yeah, definitely. Well, if you're gonna say Neo, then I'm gonna say what's her face, the girlfriend, because she was
But
a
don't they all? I mean,
badass
let me ask you this:
too.
don't they all have the same powers in the Matrix? Have I not watched the movies enough?
Um, well, no, they don't necessarily have the same powers they could. It's the powers they choose because they still have some kind of free will in the sense that they have to go, I want to learn how to fly the helicopter, and then it's downloaded into them.
Mm,
So they still have free will of what they pick. So, yeah.
I'd probably pick the Oracle.
Interesting
That's
choice.
very in line with just me as a person, so I think that makes sense.
And she bakes. So,
And she bakes. She has
yeah.
some premonition type stuff.
Mhm.
Guides people, gives them guidance
Yeah.
and advice, and gets them where they need to go, even if they don't like to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We might be dipping into next week's topic, though, with what character you most like. So we'll write down the Matrix and dive into that next week.
Ooh, that'll be really good.
Mm-hmm.
What
Let's
is
just
the girlfriend's name?
Trinity.
Trinity. That's right, Trinity. Because I love
Now,
Trinity. Yes.
in turn, we don't. I feel like neither of us really know Marvel well enough to pick someone. Do you?
Which one is Marvel?
Marvel is the one that you hear all about. The only thing, so Suicide Squad's not Marvel. Batman isn't Marvel. Wonder Woman. Marvel is Captain America, Captain Marvel, the Hulk,
Oh, I'm
Thor.
Captain Marvel all day long.
This isn't about the character. This is about the power.
She manipulates energy,
Okay.
and yeah, I mean, I looked it up.
I don't know enough about any of their powers to be able to take it to say what it would be. So I don't know about Marvel. What about DC? That's Suicide Squad people. We'll separate Suicide Squad out because that's the, oh my gosh, we used the word. We're probably gonna get flagged. I wasn't even thinking because it's a movie title.
What?
The first word in that movie.
Oh,
You know what? Anyway, separating them out because they're the villains. We're talking Batman, Wonder Woman.
Batman, Wonder
Um,
Woman. Is the
the
Hulk?
fish one. No, the Hulk is Marvel. The Aquaman,
Ooh, Aquaman.
Flash.
I don't want to be Aquaman. I just want to know
Nope.
Aquaman.
No, Captain Marvel is a she. Captain America is a he.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel, hold up your cup.
Oh,
Captain
yeah.
Marvel is this gal. Well, actually, I can't remember the girl. Brie Larson plays her.
Yeah. Great,
Captain
great.
America is the guy.
Such a good movie, Tia. Absolutely watch it. It makes you think about a lot of things. It's really good.
As far as DC goes, so Batman, Wonder Woman, oh, Superman,
Right?
Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, The Flash.
Why does everyone forget about Robin?
And that's all we have for today.
Or Alfred? What about Alfred, who takes care of them?
Alfred is in the Batman movies.
Well, I
It's
know
in
I'm saying, but he's got a superpower in the sense that he can actually hone in Batman and take care of them.
All right, everybody, we are getting into some average person territory. So we're going to end today's episode, but I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'd still love to hear what superpower you would choose, and of the movies we talked about, who would you be? And next week we're going to be similar topic, but not really. We're going to keep talking movies and talking about which movie character we think we are and who we think the other person is.
In just
Any
movies
movie at
in
all,
general.
not related
Right.
to superheroes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll pick some of our favorites.
And absolutely, we want your input so you guys can like help us vote in, who you think we would be in a movie
Totally.
if you want to have fun with that. Yeah, Tia, thanks for engaging and playing along with us. That was fun. Definitely watch Captain Marvel. Fun movie.
Michelle, where can they find you?
They can find me at mokshagrace.com and anywhere on social media under Moksha Grace. And tomorrow is Moment of Presence. What was my topic for tomorrow? Oh, we're starting a new series on respect. And so tomorrow we are talking about.
I have to go because our vet is calling in
Gotta
regards
go.
to one of our pets. So why don't you wrap it up and I will go
Okay.
off.
Okay. So tomorrow join me for Moment of Presence. We're going to be talking about respect, and we will be talking about different forms of respect. Tomorrow is talking about respecting your fellow human beings. Yeah, I look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow, and I hope you join us next week for another fun conversation.